All right,
All
I'm going to
right.
do an intro here, Soup, because I'm with the Husk Soup, and we are in the Mythic Wars playoffs. It's not $1,000 like is in my title at the moment, because it's $10,000 on the line, and we've got a matchup for the ages here. In the top of the map, it is the inconceivable. I'm giving these guys nicknames. The inconceivable 3DB Soup. I'll let you have a little go now. I did my little thing.
Yeah, so in the bottom of the map, we've got the conceivable Kimo. He's playing Gaia,
I like
and
that.
this is such a interesting pick. Like if the Ra on Gold Rush, we've seen that a lot. Ra generally really sick pick for Gold Rush. He gets to sit in his base with 4,500 gold and really get to that mid game power spike that he loves, and then he can move out into the middle and secure all the gold that he wants. But the Gaia pick, I think that's the one to look out for here. How does Gaia play into Gold Rush?
Well, we're
That's what I'm interested in
Yeah,
seeing.
we're already starting to see a little bit of the cook coming from Kimo. He's actually heroizing these hero citizens straight away. Now, this, technically speaking, pays itself off pretty quickly, right? Like if you do it straight
Pretty
away,
quickly, I think it's
like 5
isn't it
minutes or
like
something.
6 or 7 minutes? It's
Yeah.
some time into.
So if you get it right away, you're gonna have that benefit when you need it, right? Like when you're going to be wanting to push into the middle. So
Yeah.
this sort of like makes some sort of sense with the like economic guild. Get all your upgrades straight away. Get a couple of heroes in. But if he does it for all the citizen, then all of a sudden you're starting to push that advantage further and further back, and you might find yourself in some trouble.
I think the first time that the general public, the unwashed masses, got to see this Gaia heroization strategy was when Mr. did it in one of the tournaments. And when I asked him about it, he said the big reason for doing it is, yeah, it does pay for itself eventually. So you can kind of see it as quote unquote free. And then what you want to do is the heroized citizens. You want to use them for hunting in front of your base, for example, right
Yeah.
now. Or if you have an exposed gold mine over on the right side, make sure that it's the heroized citizens that go there. Because if there's a Wadget or Sphinxes whacking at these hero citizens, they are not going to take a lot of damage at all. And with Lush and Caladria to heal them back up, it's like you're incredibly safe when you do this kind of play.
Yeah. And I guess on top of that as well, if you're wanting to go for a second town center and you're scared of, say, a Shifting Sands idea, having those hero citizens there to be a little bit more bulky might be the difference between you actually like losing 0 citizens, losing 1, losing 2, getting denied a town center, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I like it. The mere fact that it does pay for itself eventually, that's enough for me to say, yeah, I like it. I think maybe if you build too many of those hero citizens, you could maybe delay your second TC by a bit, but it can't be that much. I think it's cool.
Well,
So Kimo is going for a 430 advance. So that he's got his pickaxe, his hand axe, and he ended up with 4 hero citizens. So with a 430 advance, dude, if you can do it, if you can get away with that, why not do it, right?
yeah, I mean, the only reason to advance fast, right, is either put pressure onto your opponent immediately and try and like make up for the resources lost, or to get a really quick town center and have that give you the advantage like a little bit later over your opponent. And in this situation, I don't see any reason why you need to go too quickly here as the Gaia. I mean, 3DP on the other hand probably makes sense to get up a little faster just so he can threaten a Shifting Sands. But the way that Kimo's doing this, I think that he's going to be completely fine and he's going to be in his element right now.
He is actually, you said rather fast, 419, it's rather fast. The one issue for B is he's not empowering a monument. I've seen this.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah.
empowering a monument while building his initial barracks. So advancing relatively early at 419, it's not really paying off for him because it takes so long for these barracks to come up now.
Yeah, he's moved over now. But by the time these
Yeah.
barracks are up, and by the time he has some units out to like do something to stop this town center, the town center very well might be completed.
Yep. And the Caladria is there already. There's an Oracle there. I don't know if he's going to heroize it preemptively or what. maybe since he sees a priest now, that would be a sick move. Just heroize an oracle to take the Wadget down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and he's got the Caladria there as well. Can heal up, can slow down, heal up, but the priest's here, causing some problems. Has to retreat away for the time being. But is that a villager rush? That's villagers there. This could be pretty rubbish.
This is brutal. Luckily for Kimo, the citizens escape, but the TC is not.
I don't even think he needs to run here. I think he can actually just win this fight with the hero citizens and the Caladria, and just garrison micro.
This 4 hero citizens. Yo, the Pharaoh is going down quickly to the hero citizen.
Yep. Oh no, this could be disastrous for B. He needs to absolutely kill everything here.
Yeah.
And also behind this,
we've been talking about the hero citizens this entire time.
Yeah.
And here we see why.
He could bring more citizen over if he wants to, and just continue to kind of win this fight. I mean, his town center is going to go up. It's 15 seconds from completion here. He can also drop another Gaia Forest if he wants on this spot. But he does get surrounded.
He's taking the risk here.
4, 3, 2. No, it's 2 seconds. Oh my God, what are you doing?
He's sending he's sending the other 2 now. He's sending the other 2.
He's gonna try. He's sending more.
4 more.
He's got 2 seconds to complete it, and but B is so far behind. He like gets another citizen, but he's hurting so much now. He lost so many. Both players have lost so many villagers. Soup.
These villagers have got Skin of the Rhino, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why they were doing fairly well there. But yeah, looking at the villager score, what are we looking at? 17 versus 20, kind of equal, to be honest. The second TC did go up for Kimo, obviously.
He got it. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
But now,
how do you like B's hunting situation?
He doesn't really have another choice, does he? He needs to like get. Maybe he could go into towers or something, like push in and block off that other 1,500 gold. Get a barracks or 2.
I mean, there's still 2,200 gold remaining in the one in the back. It's not going to be the play. It's impossible. There's Gaia forests available as well.
Yeah. Well. I think Kimo has well and truly defended this, but these axemen are going to be a little bit of a pain. And the citizen here, he's getting out of Caladria as well to help out, and Kimo in Kimo fashion will turn around and shank the 5 DPS axemen and take those out fairly simply.
There's only 1,000 HP remaining on the town center. With the Lush, it's slowly repairing itself, but there could potentially be a play with the Skin of the Rhino villagers just nearby. If you can amass enough of a military presence, maybe that would be the play. Take down the town center. I don't know. B's got to be scrambling for things to do here. He's really intent on just massing X-Men, which is interesting, I think.
Well, he's sending the villagers forward to do something here, Soup. It's looking like it's going to be a tower, or he's going to start shanking villagers. And I guess the breeze could pull forward, but I think these citizen, Kimo knows, he can just shank the tower down at this point. These citizen, they hurt. 2.5x on towers. That's not an option for B here.
Nope, it's not. How good are these citizens? Hello. They don't have Skin of the Rhino.
He's like, I've got
survival equipment, to be fair.
Yeah, another Caladria Carnivore to come down. We'll be able to take out one of those axemen there.
Caladria doing absolutely amazing work here, and it's not being targeted down by the priest. And oh my god,
I think
the citizens are just.
This game is credit. I think we got to give credit where credit's due. This game is credit to Recon. He came up with the Uranus villager rush. Kimo said, "I'll one up you, and we're gonna do the Gaia villager defense here." And
yeah,
this is Age of Mythology.
40 villager population versus 22 for B right now. He is losing units everywhere, and he's just building a market now with his villagers. I don't know, trying to get some extra food for production of villagers. I'm not even sure. Kimo looking mighty strong here.
He's now going to heroize that Mamilo as well. Heal up his Caraballas with the Caladria, I imagine. And it's back to full HP, and B is in a very, very tough spot now.
It's gotta be over here, Mr. B. I do love the attempt, and it looked really good for a second, but as soon as Kimo was allowed to build that town center when he like full sended 6 citizens, it was just, I think at that point B was too far behind.
Yeah. I mean, the thing, this is like, you were saying that it's 416 isn't that, or whatever advanced that isn't that late, but when you're going for a shifting sands denial on a town center, like one villager, one population, like going one villager later is the difference between having out an extra 2 or 3 spearmen, and that can be the difference between whether you deny the town center or everything crumbles. So I don't know if maybe he could have gone.
Also the fact that he didn't. 419. Bit slow, like you mentioned. No empowerment on the barracks as they were being built. Only one villager on both of the barracks. Yeah, like it's really, if he had 2 or even 4 additional spearmen as he used shifting sands, it would have made a huge difference in this game, undoubtedly.
Well, the game isn't 100% over here. It's pretty close to, but there is one angle for 3DB. Which is one Kimo has to make somewhat of a mistake, some sort of a blunder with his army, because he's going to be so far in front on everything. But the one angle here to a victory is just controlling the center, getting a full massive Egyptian army, and somehow managing to catch a whole bunch of Kimo units, catching back up in sort of army differential, and controlling the middle. So Kimo has one more thing to be careful of, and then I think he can claim this victory.
You say that, Boit. You see the remaining gold there's left. That's 2,300 or so.
Yep. So Kimo has to like throw away probably, my guess is about 20 units for free. Delete 20. That's my guess on it. He might do it. You never know. He can sometimes fall asleep at the wheel.
Look at Kimo's military presence right now. 2 Mamilo heroes and a Cairo Ballista. Wow. And he is just... This is actually quite interesting what Kimo is doing. He's building 7 military barracks and 1 counter barracks. He's now going up through Thea. I imagine we're going to see 50 Contarius running all over V in 2 minutes time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, B's gone into the Axemen and Slingers. And this is a really nice comp against the classical age Atlantean army, but as soon as Atlantean gets to the heroic age, now you're scared because Contarius absolutely dominate pretty much everything except for heavy spearmen, mass heavy spearmen, maybe medium spearmen with a little bit of an upgrade, but
look at B's army.
And he's still pumping out.
How do you think the X-Men Slinger Wedget combo, how is that going to fare against the aforementioned 30 Contarius? What do you think?
I think that it's not going to work. I just want to point out that Kimo's already... Kimo knows what he wants. He's already getting flood control. Like, he's got...
Oh my god.
He's got 9 farms at 13 minutes and at flood control. This guy, all he cares about is one thing, and it's disgusting. I
love the Dryad edition from Kimo too. Even though there's wedges and priests, maybe a bit preemptive, he should go out here. He's got so much gold left. Like, this is actually the kind of move that will give B an option to get back into the game.
Yeah, this is what I was kind of alluding to, is if Kimo tries to take these fights a little bit too early, there's a chance. But look at the score. It's like,
yeah, it's brutal.
Kimo is like double the score. Oh dear.
It really is. I've heard people say the same, that with Gaia and Uranus, the unit composition to go for an heroic age is Contarius plus Dryads. Don't bother with Orcus, don't bother with Murmilos or Cairo Ballista or anything like that. You just make the units that are good, and those are Contarius and Dryads. And let's see how it works out here.
Yeah, Kimo is taking this fight a little bit early, I'm not going to lie. He's behind on military pop, but he's got the tech in a big way, and there's no counter units, very few counter units from 3DB, and it looks like Kimo will be able to crack through this. He's also bringing villagers into the fray just to say, I don't even need these because I'm this far in front of you.
Yep. Yeah, this is just Contarius with all the techs against units that they naturally counter on top of it. And the result is right here, just a complete dominating performance from Kimo. The thing about when you go classical age fighting with Ta, once your opponent gets to the heroic age, your unique upgrade, the leather frame shield, doesn't assist you in anything. The pierce armor, rather useless.
And there's the game. A good conversion from Kimo, 3DB. Not the best execution on the shifting sands all in. And if something like that goes wrong, well, game finishes pretty quickly. So we'll see if 3DB is going to continue his cheesing ways in this series, Suppe, or maybe he'll go for something maybe a little bit more solid in the next game.
It was an entertaining game, I will say that. But yeah, let's see. He's got to have more up his sleeve for sure.
Yeah. 419 is also an odd uptime, right? Is it supposed to be 418, 416? I can't remember. I can't remember either. I can't do the math. All right, on to the next game. Oh, we have the crazy stinger thing. It all worked. Let's go. We have all the production value and more here, Suppe. As we get into game number 2.
Nice.
And we've got 3DB here going to be rolling in with his Thor for Ghost Lake.
We got Kimo on Hades, and this is something I know both you and I are passionate about. We have a deep passion for the Hades Archaic Age build order. So let's take a look at what Kimo is doing here. What do you reckon? Is this something you can you approve of this?
All right. So in the patch before this one, before the villager train time change, I was of the opinion that if you really wanted to go fast second town center, it's fine to skip Vaults of Erebus to get it up as fast as you possibly can. And it was like kind of close to equal, if not, slightly in favor of the Vaults of Erebus, but tiny bit safer. But on this patch, no, it's not close. Vaults of Erebus is just better in every single way. You get the town center up, I believe, faster with Vaults of Erebus as well if you do the build correctly.
Oh, really?
I believe so. I believe so. So, yep.
It's one of those things. I don't know if it's like an unintended consequence of the villager training time change, but all the innate economic bonuses that the gods have. So that's like Vaults of Erebus for Hades.
Yep.
It's free dwarfs for Thor. It's something like Flood of the Nile for Isis. All of these innate bonuses have gotten more or less a 20% buff with the villager production change.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. And also, equally insane, 3DB says, you know what, Suppe, you're telling me that the dwarves, it's better for me to get them out quickly? He says,
my God,
he says, no, I'm not doing that this time.
No, what is he doing then?
Okay, there's one idea that I have for Thor. I know you know about it because I've probably done it too at some point. Is the incredibly fast advance through Freya with this very, very quick second Valkyrie. That's not what B's doing here. So I don't have any idea.
How about very, very fast hammer troll upgrade?
Yeah, super fast hammer troll upgrade. Oh dear. I mean, maybe he goes for a forward building knowing that Kimo is going to be going for a fast second town center. Maybe he can get out a whole bunch of berserks and a couple of Hersa and then overrun.
I mean, that's a good idea, except for the fact that Kimo sees the message on his screen that 3DB has advanced to the classical age at 330. So Kimo will know that, all right, better not go for a naked town center at 420 or whatever it is.
Do you think Kimo's thinking... I think Kimo thinks he can get it up. I think he thinks he can just walk over there. Okay, now he puts the sentinels out. Maybe we won't be seeing a far second town center from Kimo here. Normally,
you know what I think?
Yeah, go on.
if I'm playing Hades and I see a Thor player advancing at 330 with Forseti, I'm thinking exactly what Kimo's thinking here, which is, all right, pluck down sentinels, ensure that I don't lose any villagers whatsoever, and I just auto win. I win automatically. I get Vaults of Erebus. I scale better into the late game. I just got a much better economy than Thor. Like, this is all you got to do is not mess up. That's what I would be thinking, anyways. And I think, by the way, that Kimo used Sentinels. I think he's got kind of the same mindset here.
Yeah, he's still got 7 villages on food. So this pretty much indicates that he wants to stay classical age, 1 town center, and fight like that. I mean, he's scouting out what's happening. But 3DB here, he shows... oh, never mind. He doesn't show Kimo. He's throwing up a Dwarven Armory. So this could just be mind games from 3DB, right? Like, of course, it's worse to do this. This is obviously, like, objectively worse from a resource total point of view. But if you mind game your opponent into doing something else, then you're in a better position than the other way. Maybe.
It's giving a false sense of security, but at the same time, Kimo with the early Pegasus loved that play, and he has scouted the Dwarven Armory now.
Yeah.
And he scouted the settlements that are not there. He's now looking for village centers or something. Like, you just want to look out for super unorthodox things. And if he doesn't see anything out of the ordinary, like I said, Kimo is just cruising towards victory without doing anything. So I love the way that Kimo plays it, to be honest. Very calm and collected.
Yeah, and he's actually also... No, he's going to go for a 1 town center play. This is a new Kimo. A new and improved Kimo.
And the Pegasus allows him to do it. The fact that he sees the late Dwarven Armory, it must be a late Dwarven Armory given the 330 advance.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that there is no town center, no village center. It's just, it's exactly like I said. Kimo knows how economy works in this game, and he's proving it right here.
Wait, is he going... He is walking over to put a town center down. So... He's got the, he's got the barracks to make some units to defend. Kimo is so good at just saying, "Hang on, villagers, they're good at getting me resources, but if I get damaged with my villagers, that's kind of like me taking resources away from my opponent, so it's fine."
Yep. One wood short. There it is. So he's actually grabbing it.
Yeah.
That's, that's just Kimo. Obviously, where he's most comfortable is when he's got 2 town centers. Bruh, I would have loved to seen him just stay on 1 TC.
Yeah.
Obviously, B has got his armory up now. He's, how many upgrades does he have? 2, and he's getting a 2nd TC now. Like, this is Kimo allowing B to do this. I don't like that TC grab from Kimo at all.
Yeah, it's.
What do you reckon?
This is the mind game factor. This is like B doing something unorthodox. And Kimo trying to reacting, but this is obviously like just a weird position to be in. So now, I mean, these are the things that Kimo is totally happy to play though. Like, he's like, okay, you're going to be weird? Cool. We'll just boom, and that's fine.
I'll be normal then.
Yeah, we'll just go back to what we were gonna do, and we'll just play the game. Fine, no worries.
I'll go normal mode. You can do your thing.
Yeah, that's right. But here's the thing, Soup, and the one thing here that I think Kimo has not accounted for, maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't, is gold situation. 3DB is going to run out of gold really quickly. He probably could have put pressure on and probably forced a gold starve of some sort. Probably could go for a quick heroic age into an Apollo, into dropping a fortress onto position and being completely fine there as well.
Yep. He kind of smart. I don't know if it's smart, but I do like the play. Just sending dwarves forward already before that initial gold mine runs out. He's getting something now. Probably realizing Kimo is not quite in the position just yet to pressure this gold mine. Kimo still positions his army very smart on his secondary hunt, realizing this is his only spot that he's weak and vulnerable in. So that's where he'll place his units for now. And then when he's feeling comfortable, when he thinks he's got a big enough army to move out, he can go and pressure that second gold mine of bees.
Yeah, and you also got the other thing of, if my opponent does for whatever reason somehow have like 5+ rating cavalry, and is running into my main base, you can just go, okay, I'm very happy to just grab watchtowers in that moment. Very happy to grab crenellations in that moment, because they're going to be technologies you want anyways in the game. So
this fight, look at this fight. This is Kimo messing up. The Minotaur is going down. Resto is forced. Minotaur going down before it, and B is just saying, all right, we'll fight through this. Only how many hoplites? 6 hoplites and an Ajax. Resto is used, but this is looking mighty fine for B still.
Yeah, really, really interesting fight from Kimo. I thought he was going to be very comfortable just sitting back and enjoying, but no, he tries to force something, and 3DB is now finding himself in a really good spot.
It's funny, whenever I compliment Kimo for what he's doing, the moment after he goes and do something different, and it goes bad for him.
Yeah. And normally this probably wouldn't matter on like a different type of map. But on this map, the fact of the matter is this gold mine will expire probably about 12 to 13 minutes for Kimo. And then he's going to have to take a big fight. And I imagine 3DB, and maybe you can tell me if I'm stupid about this or not, but I imagine he might be at full bronze by that point with a really big army.
In classical, or what do you reckon?
Yeah, like he's not going to leave the classical age in this situation. Maybe he will.
That could be.
Maybe it's a mistake, but
true. I will say your timing is a bit off. Like with Hades versus Norse, you can honestly you can get away with just sitting on one gold mine for 15, 16 minutes oftentimes.
I'm just looking at it starting to go down, and I'm like, maybe 3-4 minutes, but maybe you're right. Yeah. Pretty. I guess you have the Vaults of Erebus. You don't have to gather it at all early on.
Nope. And you know, Vaults of Erebus, what is it? 2 gold per second.
2 gold per second.
So if it's 10 minutes, that's 600 seconds. 1,200 gold in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous the amount of gold that you produce out of thin air with this technology.
For sure. But Kimo, he's still fine here. I mean, B is incredibly aggressive. He's now fine underneath the town center, so taking a huge extra amount of damage here. And Kimo's got defender's advantage, so this is going to be a challenging one to actually get value in.
He's got the bigger army, so he wants to force the fight here, but the hoplites are quite tongy. The throwing axemen, some of them were hitting the Ajax, and then the Toxotes just guaranteed value no matter what they hit. Dude, what is this healing spring? B is a gamer. Holy.
He did this versus me as well, and I kind of just looked at it and I was like, really? Okay. I'll take that. Then I proceeded to throw, but it was still a thing.
This is so risky, though. Kimo can move out here in no time. Dude, if Kimo gets a Minotaur, there's no way he'll lose against this pure RC throwing Axeman army.
I mean, he's got the favor for the Minotaur, but does he want to spend the gold on it? It's a good idea for now, but we actually see 3DB anticipating it a little bit, getting some Hersar out.
It's got to be the play.
If he wants to go heroic age, it looks like.
The Pegasus is idle for now. If he had a good overview of what B's army consisted of, he should know that one or even, dude, I'm not lying, 1 Minotaur is enough. Even if B produces 3 Hersas, they can easily be targeted down by 15 Toxotes.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing B going Skadi here, which is another sort of thing that I haven't seen him do before. He normally goes down the Bragi route, getting lots of battle bore and enjoying all the crazy amounts of favor that he gets from that.
It's so risky what he's doing, though. He's throwing 1,200 resources at this Skadi while having a super forward healing spring and even placing up a forward base here as well.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be. It's gonna be impossible to defend because Kimo's just full sending it here, and now B is forced to take a fight while having wasted 1,200 resources on heroic. I don't like this from B at all.
I mean, he has to kind of win the fight, right? Like he's committed to it. He has to take it, and it's looking like Kimo is actually not 100% winning this one.
There's the healing spring. I know you're a big proponent or advocate of using healing spring like this. Yeah. I don't know. Is that the healing spring just doing its thing here?
I think it's helping. I mean, obviously, it's 3 HP or 1.5 HP per second for all these units in this fight, and I don't know. It's obviously not enough here because I think that Kimo is just inching his way through.
B is microing his throwing axeman immaculately. I've been looking at the throwing axeman ball this entire time, and they've just been striking down the hoplites. So that's part of the reason why. But now B is forced to retreat, and that does give the healing spring over to. Or
no,
does it not?
No, because it's close enough to the longhouse. So the longhouse is able to keep it alive. So if you ever do a aggressive healing spring, you want to put a military building, temple, longhouse, great hall, close enough to it.
It's like on Silk Road.
Yeah, it's the same as the Plenty Vault, same as the Hess Registry, same as the Trading Post. Yeah.
Really cool. I think. What do you think? Just use Frost here, plug up a hill fort. That's gotta be the play.
I mean, you can wait on it. Just put the hill fort down, and if Kimo wants to come and fight you, then just say, okay, now we Frost. But
just. Nah, do it now. Look at it. The Toxotes are doing a tremendous job here. And when Kimo is allowed to do this back and forth here, the hill fort is never going up. And when the hill fort is being delayed this much, it also means that there's not really much value coming out of Heroic Age at all. And yeah, conversely, if he gets the hill fort up, he can start producing Hostiles, which will just skyrocket his ability to win fights.
Yeah. I think the thing is with B, though, he doesn't really like... what I noticed is he doesn't really like making the castles. Like, they cost a little bit too much for him, I think. Not that they do cost too much, but for him, they cost too much. He much prefers to keep spamming units out.
Well, look at him. He's got heavy throwing axemen with the Huntress Axe now. Yeah. It's a big power spike. So he is getting the heroic value now. He's got heavy raiding cavalry as well. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't want the castle. He wants the line upgrades.
Exactly. And... I mean, Kimo's managed to get himself a gold mine behind all of this, and Kimo's going to be pretty happy just continuing to trade into this. So long as he keeps on mounting gold, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Which gold mine is Kimo on? Oh, the one over here. I don't think B has... I'm looking at it from B's perspective. He does not have knowledge of the gold mine to the left, nor does he have knowledge of his own gold mine to the right.
It's always the way with Thor, right? Like for whatever reason, you just don't get to know what's going on the map. Even if you do, you try your hardest to get all the scouting information in. It's like you miss stuff all the time. And this kind of looks like a 4 gold mine Ghost Lake from what 3DB's seen, but it's a 6 gold mine. It's 6 large gold mine Ghost Lake. So.
Also keep in mind, you gotta keep in mind, B is an AoE 4 player. In AoE 4, you get, your scout is tremendous. You get a good scout with all Sith, and you can full clear the map in, what is it, 6-7 minutes usually, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, maybe that's impacting his ability to think outside the box. How do I actually get to scout the black parts of the map when I don't have a dedicated scout playing as Thor? But dude, B takes it.
That's wild.
Unorthodox game here. This is so cool. Exactly what we talked about. B doing weird B things and Kimo not acting properly, in my opinion. What a game.
Yeah, I mean, this one comes down to 2 things. One is a little bit of mind games from B. Gets into a position where probably he gets a like if you look at the post game and timeline. Settlement captured. Normally, the time difference between these town centers with Greek and Norse is kind of like sometimes even upwards of 3 minutes, right? Depending on what the Norse game plan is. But in this one, a 1 minute difference between town centers, that's really, really good for Thor. So just the mind games getting into that. Sure, he's a little bit behind on total resources earlier on, but manages to get that in. But the other big mistake there was Kimo walking forward, restoration with 5 hoplites and a Minotaur, and not having that for that next part of the game, which he needs to make things work.
Dude, the Minotaurs would have done so much. If he had got those Minotaurs out, he would have been able to take over the Healing Spring location, surely.
For sure.
And that would have just be in a much worse off situation. It would have been a longer game for sure. I just don't know how. Yeah, he played it really well. Exactly like you said, the economy well set up for him and making it work.
Yeah, well, 1-1. We'll see if it's going to be more of the same, or if Kimo can get locked into a more standard game and show off his defender's skills. We'll get into game number 3 shortly. Alrighty then. Game number 3. As I am looking at the left-hand corner of the map at a player who is currently equal in this series 1-1. It is 3DB. And he's playing as Shenong.
And he's doing the farm build.
I'm going to come back to this one.
Farms.
We're going to talk about this one.
Sure.
Super. I really want to pick your brain.
Let's just introduce player down the bottom. It is Mr. Kimo playing a Set. And he's got his baboon of Set just sitting there being a pet animal.
Yeah, he's guarding the villagers. He's having a good time.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't play Set, so I don't know what that's about.
So yeah, the baboon's got a bit of a hidden buff.
Oh yeah.
If you don't touch it, your early game build order goes much better.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. There's so many things to do with Set in that first 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
Especially if you're like min-maxing and trying to do things like chopping exactly the right amount of wood, making sure you're empowering the monument to the villagers, making sure you're not missing any food drops on the initial villages. You know, like it's not 100% necessary, but if you want to min-max, then yeah, things go really poorly if you mess it up.
Well, let's see B here. What is your thoughts on these Shenong's farms early on? Because I hear some people saying that this is horribly ineffective. There's no reason to doing it, and there's others saying that you should do this every map, every instance. This is standard build order for Shenong. Where do you stand on this discussion?
Okay, so like everything, there is no every time. My first opinion is if you're gonna do it, don't put it on your town center. Put it on your gold mine. So you want to move the silo off to the corner of the gold mine, and you want to put a farm on both of the straight edges of the gold mine, so that you're going to have a safety position there. So that you get raided.
You can't do that on this map, for example, because then you don't have wood for your silo over by the deer.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that far, but you don't have to drop the farms immediately either, right?
Okay. So you're advocating for something different then.
Yeah. But mostly I think that if you're going to I guess if you're going to play a one town center game, it makes sense to go for the farms to some degree. But if you're going to go for any sort of 2 town center idea, the farms are just slowing you down.
I think one thing we should say is that the big draw of making these farms, it is the big draw is that you get your hunt will last so much longer.
Yeah.
It's basically like it's actually Odin's Great Hunt on crack. It's so much better than Odin Great Hunt. These farms here, because all the food is going to last for so much longer, and you have 2 villagers underneath your TC completely safe, getting hunt levels of gather rate, actually better than hunt levels of gather rate throughout the game. It's really sick in that regard. But then the obvious downside to it is that you spend 150 wood for those 2 farms early on.
Yeah.
So that means that you're gonna either delay your classical, you're gonna delay your K gauge upgrades, whatever it is. You're gonna delay something. It is delaying your second town center as well. So there's drawbacks to it, and there's good things about it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think you can ever say that it's like this is the only way to open. So it's nice that there's some options for Shenong, and I think that the way the 3DB plays China in this patch is maybe I've spoke too soon, but he does not play for town centers. So he's always going to be doing some sort of one town center pressure here.
And we appreciate B's macro here. He's got 2 farmers, he's got 2 Kuafus, 8 peasants on wood, and he's got 2 peasants on food now. That's his macro at the moment. It is like 93% on wood or so.
Yeah, and Kimo right now is saying, I'm just going to do me. We're getting my talent center. I've got my Pharaoh out. B has missed this a little bit. If his Yatsu were in the right place here, he would have been able to get quite a lot of damage done. But they're not.
Yep.
And it does look like he's going to be going for his back town center. So B here says no aggressive play in this game. We are going to be seeing the first of B's macro play.
I will say these Yahtzee, they killed a bunch of those animals,
Yeah.
which is nice, and it drew the pharaoh away from the town center at a crucial time. Even now, the pharaoh is actually idle because he's still chasing these Yahtzee around. He does manage to take one down. The other one probably going to go back home and heal back up. But either way, the Yahtzee did a good job. I think they got a lot of value in there. B. Ooh,
Yeah, I
second
didn't.
one
These
going
are
down, though.
these
That's really
were
not
both
good.
free, right? As well, because you got one from Shenong.
You could say that. You can say they're free, sure, but at the same time, losing both of them, it's
You
not
don't want to
good.
lose them, no, especially when you can heal them back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
what's this? It wasn't even a dead end. They could have actually just gotten away.
Yeah, I think those are just a rare moment where B kind of wasn't. He made a move with them and wasn't looking at them. I in my experience, he didn't make those with my games. He didn't make those mistakes. He was very on top of him.
It always seems like that, doesn't it? When you play against someone and you lose, they play perfect.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
And then you're observing, and it's just you should have done that, you should have done this, that, right?
Yeah. I guess on top of this here, the other already smacking down on the Yahtzee here. The thing here that I think 3DB is going to want to do, he's already started up the military camp in the back of his base. He wants to do a 2-town center all in here in the classical age.
Yes, I think that's what you generally tend to want to do with Set and the forward aggressive serpent on top of the gold mine, realizing he's got a nice military advantage already. There's no reason not to do this. But why would you ever go heroic with Set versus China? You've got all you need in the classical age.
Yeah.
Spearmen, slingers, heroes, Anubites. There's nothing waiting. Well, there's plenty of stuff waiting in heroic age, to be fair, but you got so much good stuff in classical age already. Why not just stay there?
I guess the one thing that is really nice for Egyptian, if you're getting to the heroic age, is your priests get that extra little bit of range. Maybe you also go for Nephthys in this matchup, so that you can get Spirit of March, makes your priest heal faster, makes them cheaper, that sort of stuff. Get Neb tier as well, and you can start actually dealing with all of this nonsense, so to speak.
Yahtzee jumping in on the priest, and definitely not the move to make there. They barely deal any damage to them, but actually that's managed to take down one priest. The swordsman. I do like the swordsman against the spearman slinger. It's a unit you gotta make.
Yeah.
It always feels bad making them in classical because there's no innate real value of them. It's only in heroic and even more so in mythic that they get super good. But versus spearman and slinger, it's the unit you gotta be making.
Yeah, this is something I think 3DB is going to be prepared to be facing as well. He kind of like this 2-town center fast heroic is so standard, like for ladder play for like half of the Egyptian sort of ideas. But he is going through Sekhmet. I imagine that's going to be a forward citadel. I don't know how he's going to make the damage felt here. Kimo is already starting to wall up the map, make life difficult for raids and things like that. Maybe he's going to go for the main base or something. Maybe he goes for Nubar and does a big timing.
You're thinking B, how does he ever do anything with the forward citadel there?
Yeah.
What about even just drought on the citadel? Isn't it kind of sick? If you have, say, 3 siege crossbows ready and a bunch of swordsmen, you can just take it down immediately? I don't know.
Yeah, you can take it down
work?
for sure. If it's, well, what was it go? It's like 3,500 HP or something. I can't remember. Take half of that off. Sure. If you got like 4 crossbows, you can take it out. If you've got a whole bunch of Tautier, you can take it out as well.
Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. They're not that good, I think, the new myth units.
No, you have to get a couple of stacks on them, I guess.
Yeah, and you don't generally tend to do that in high-level games, I think.
Yeah, it's tough. There was one time I saw it where it was like, wow, this is bonkers. It's when I think it was B that did it. He vanished the units into the base and then droughted and then took everything out.
Ooh. Yeah, that's sick. I like that move. You know, there's one thing they're really good against is elephants. They will actually just eat them whole.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of units like
they're
that, like the
hunker boys.
Lampedi as well, can turn them into chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of funky ones. Medusa doesn't kill them in one, but basically does.
Not really. They turn them into stone, and I think they only lose like a set amount of HP.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that much, actually. It's enough to kill a swordsman or the likes, yes, but an high HP champion elephant's not going to take that much damage from the Medusa.
Broken. Heroic Age Myth unit. Killing off tank human unit. Nerf.
Where are we at in this game? Bit of a stalemate. Both players just not doing much. Kimo did get to the heroic age with Sekhmet, but it seems like B is just staying in classical for now.
Kimo's playing his game here. Kimo knows is okay for the time being. He's seeing what B's doing. He sees all these units and he goes, if I get to the Mythic age here, I'm just going to meteor your army. And then what are you going to do?
True. It's always that ticking time bomb when you're against the meteor. Yeah, and it is a forward citadel. There's a monument to soldiers. Is it reaching the Migdal? I sure hope. I think it is.
Yeah.
Reaching it. Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. If B makes a push in the next minute and breaks this, Kimo's going to be in a little bit of trouble. If he waits a minute and a half and then decides to go, I don't think he kills the Townsend. I think Kimo sacks a whole bunch of villages to repair it back up, and then the meteor comes down, and life is very, very tricky. And Kimo's just pumping Migdals as well.
He's gonna need Nuba, but even then, it's like exactly like you said, meteor's gonna hit. Like, he's got a nice looking army, sure. Tons of swordsmen, a few yards there. That's cute.
He's
but
trying to sneak
you're
around the
about
back
to be hit
here.
by a meteor. You're gonna have a storm of chariot archers, camels, elephants, whatever it is, running at you. This army is gonna be outscaled heavily within the next 2 minutes or so.
Yeah.
He's playing way too calm here, or maybe the plan for B here is to just play super defensively, and he wants to just endure the swarm that's about to be sent against him. Because
it might.
You look at the economy; it is 69 to 56. So I don't know if he can just continue producing villagers and just continue to expand his economy. Maybe eventually he will get to a point where he can deal with it.
Well, it's sort of made kind of a death ball. I mean, it's not really a death ball. The Yatsa is scary, but you make some priests. The Dao Swords are going to scary once they get their upgrades, but it's going to take a while. It might work, but I feel like Kimo here is just going to put everyone onto wood, spam chariot archers, and life's going to be challenging for B.
Chariot archers, camels, and there's no halberdiers. There's the meteor.
There's the meteor. The Yatsa are also going into the main base though, while this is all going on.
Yeah, sick.
You can find some villages here. It's going to be huge.
Not the worst meteor I've ever seen. Like, you see the military value went down by some 1,000 or so.
Yeah.
The Yatsa taking down a monument to villages. Kind of funny. Going at the priests now. Taking down one villager there. The villager kills are huge now. 73 to 59. Actually, Kimo is faring quite well.
Yeah, the big one here is that is that you've got Valley of the Kings, which is probably equal to about 10-ish villages, right? Something like 600 resources a minute.
No.
More than that?
Much more than that.
20
It's
villages?
Like
12 villages?
1,400.
It's been a while since it keeps getting changed.
It's gonna be like 20, 25 villas, something like that.
Yeah. And this is like one of the moments where Kimo is like in his absolute element is when he has these chariot archers. He's got a speedy, high-ranged like unit that
look at the relic he's got on the chariots.
What has he got? Oh, he's got that as well. So he's going to be snaring the units. Kimo's one of the best with these units for sure. This is going to be very tough for 3DB. And 3DB probably has to get into Javelineers at the moment as well. Move away from the Fire Archers.
He's still making Fire Archers, though.
He's going Halberdiers.
At least he's making Halberdiers, but I wish he was making Javelineers, like you said.
But
Heroic is in, so that Fey Beast could potentially deal some damage, but at the same time, these are heavy chariots and heavy camels. They won't take that much damage. And there's 8 priests in the bag as well. It's going to be very hard to find Fey Beast's value here. He's going to try, though. He's got to do it now, right?
yeah, he has to do something at this point. There's so many. There's actually not as many priests here as I would want to have out for Kimo, but I think even if Kimo trades half decently here, the myth unit numbers are going to go down.
Yep. Fey Beast, electric weapons, both used at the same time here. Really good combination of god powers here. Using electric weapons means that Kimo is forced to retreat. And generally, when your opponent is forced to retreat, that's when you can find the most value with these Fey Beasts. As you see them just continually applying that poison onto the army as it's retreating. And nice little win here for B. This is kind of what I was talking about when I said B maybe just trying to get a nice economy going, and he will survive the onslaught and then maybe take it from there. B is sitting at 85 villager population. He's only got 2 Kuafu though. Classic B fashion. Doesn't want to invest into Kuafu.
I'm Team B on this one. Kuafu, terrible unit. Just make more myth units.
Yeah. I mean, you're laughing. You're not wrong. Myth units, the Yatze, the Chillin, Baihu, whatever it is, there's just so much value.
Yeah, I love. Baihu is like my favorite Chinese unit in this one as well. So much fun.
Yeah, so, once again, so much damage potential, and if you use it on top of like 10 units in a group and they all fly away, it looks so good.
But I mean, the more we watch this, the more you start going. Well, I mean, Kimo's obviously in the lead right now, but he hasn't really managed to cause much damage to 3DB. Now the raids are starting to come in. This is where things can get unraveled. But if 3DB can survive here, he does have Shenong. Shenong late game is really, really good. So there is an angle here for him to just hold on in this situation. And I mean, Kimo 4 town centers versus 2 town centers.
Online though.
They are.
The chariots are online, and they're just doing the shoot and scoot that everyone fears when they're playing against Egypt.
Yeah.
They're dealing so much damage, and it's so difficult to catch up to them. And the moment you do catch up to them, it's very easy for them to retreat. You see all the damage that's being dealt here, and only 2 chariots lost in the process for Kimo. Really, really crazy the amount of value that you get from these units.
Yeah, and at this point as well, Kimo can also just say, all right, I got my 4 Townsends, let me just plop a Migdol down on the front as well, and then he can just keep retreating back to that.
Yeah. The Fire Archers are just not it.
No.
I mean, there are some Javelineers in the back, but it's not enough. And they're also automatically targeting down the camels, so this requires so much micro from B to play properly. And it's such a stupid situation to be in, because the microing that you do with the Chariot Archers is minuscule compared to what you got to do with the Javelineers and the Halberdiers.
Yeah, the one saving grace right now, though, for B is these myth units in the front are going to tank for ages. 75%, 780 HP Taowu. Takes a while for that to go down.
And that's 6 special there, spreading the Chariot Archers. Unfortunately, B misclicking here, but he's dealing a lot of damage. The Chariot Archer is kind of bugging out, it seems like. Yeah,
you have to make sure you attack move after the Taowu's special is gone, right? It's kind of similar to Shockwave.
Oh my god. Kimo just lost a ton of villagers over on the right side to 3 Yatze and a bunch of peasants. He is winning the big military fight in the center of the map, though, of course, but yeah, I don't know. It's down to 89 bills. He lost a ton there.
This is big from B. Gets in, gets the damage done. Getting a ballet up onto this gold mine as well. The Chariot Archer is getting pulled to try and deal with these bad boys, but they're just going to say, we're out of there. They're 0.5 speed faster than the Chariots, so it's a bit challenging. And you've got 3.6 speed priests trying to chase him down. It's not going to be happening. So these guys can just sort of have their pick of where they want to go.
You know, something I noticed about these Yatze is you tend to think of them as an early game unit.
Yeah.
But if you use them really well in the mid or even late game, and you get a really good rate off, they will still deal tons of damage to your opponent.
Yeah.
And say there's a big fight in the center of the map, and you have Yahtzee, mine, even two of them, they can kill so many while your opponent is not looking.
Yeah, Kimo here not paying attention. This is actually a little bit dangerous for him. Ballet up, a second one coming up onto this gold mine. Kimo's got one gold mine left on the map, still basically full. Hasn't started a trade route. This could be where things come unraveled for Kimo here.
And B has got himself a Qinglong as well. Plus, he's finally got himself the unit that he needs. That's full Javelineers, Halberdiers, and Yahtzee. And you see how good they are right here. The Chariot Archers are actually not even that great looking anymore. We're down to 26. Only 26 remaining for Kimo at this stage. But yeah, dude, those two Bowlades for B doing a lot of damage there.
Yeah, and Kimo still hasn't started that trade route. I'm actually worried that Kimo's going to run out of gold in this game. He's only got 18 villages on gold. I don't know where the rest of them are sitting on this town center repairing it up.
Oh, right. Yeah, what else can they do? They got kicked off of that gold mine they were on. Chariot Archers are doing such a good job though still. Even though B has got the proper units, Chariot Archers are still very, very, very strong, as you can see right here. It is Kimo pushing back this B army. I think B probably made a mistake trying to go for this TC. That's just never going to work. You need siege weapons for that to work.
And now the catapults are in. You can probably come through, clean up these ballet, and maybe even grab that gold mine back. Probably only gonna have 3,000 gold left in it, but still.
Yeah, the Scarab, siege tower, double catapults. Still 29, 30 Chariot Archers for Kimo. This is going to be really good for Kimo. He will be able to stabilize here, surely.
And Kimo's also doing a sneaky in the left corner here, just like B did to him, but this one's going to hurt a lot more 3DB than it did hurt Kimo.
375 gold, and you get that building, which it's pretty much unkillable, because B in his current situation is never going to get siege crossbows. He's never going to be able to defend those crossbows. So anywhere Amygdala goes up, it stays.
Basically. So the ballets all go down. I think 3DB now out of gold, out of hope, and I'm not sure what else he can do.
That Amygdala is so huge. Just turning a gold mine in a clutch game like this, where the gold mines are so important, and you can flip-flop gold around from being 20 villagers on gold for B to 20 villagers on gold for Kimo. That's the kind of thing that can just turn a game instantly.
Yeah. I'm seeing a Desperation Spoils of War coming through. It's a great tech, especially against Egyptian when you're out of gold. But it does require you to be able to kill buildings, which I don't know how you can kill them with this army comp.
It costs 250 gold, so that means, how much is it? 50%? Is that it? So if he kills, well, 500 gold worth of buildings, he'll have it earned back, the gold cost at least.
Yeah.
Dude, the Chariot Archers are just too much here for B.
Yeah, you have to. When you're playing with Javelineers, they're probably the best unit, the best anti-unit against a Chariot Archer when you're microing, but you have to like shoot and scoot forward, and that's the hard part. Like Peltast are great, but they're a bit too slow if you have the range on them.
This is good though. He's killing a ton here. Still just needs to micro them.
Unfortunately, this is the next part of the game where Egyptian just keeps on getting stronger and stronger. So once the trade route start, or it gets 70 villages on gold. Now you got 270 plus merc. And
already 13 camel caravans into Kimo
Yeah.
with a ridiculously good trade route. So yeah, well played to Kimo. Nice attempt from B. I did like the unorthodox play of just really establishing your economy. But I think he was too slow with the Javelineers. Stuck to the Fire Archers for too long. In fact, could argue he should have never even went into them.
Yeah, I think B was like, he was like halfway stuck between one idea, which was a 2TC full army break through the defenses with the Fire Archers, and the other idea, which was sit back and try and hold the pain to get him to a strong point in the game. I think if he just went really hard into the ladder, straight in onto potentially making, or maybe even waiting to see what Kimo's going to commit to, and then going into the comp that counters it, Halberdier, Javelineers right from the get-go, maybe survives for like much longer. Maybe he gets to the Mythic Age. Maybe he gets to a late game where he can sort of fight back against Kimo. But yeah, it doesn't work out for him here.
Nah. Well done to Kimo.
Yeah.
Kimo with the set pick on Marsh. Of course, we are going to see a brutal showing here. So with that in consideration, I think B did a good job here. 24-minute game. Very entertaining.
For sure. Alrighty. Let's get into game number 4. Alrighty. Into game number 3. No, 4. It's game number 4. In the left-hand corner, we have 3DB playing as Poseidon.
Versus Kimo in the right-hand corner, and he's playing Zeus. And what do we say here? Boit, do you have anything to say about this particular matchup? Maybe especially from the Zeus perspective. No.
Okay, well, I have a really specific way that I worked on to try and get through the Hermes shenanigans in this matchup, which involves opening up with Athena Hippias, and then after you make enough of those to sort of have something to chase down the centaur and snare them so you can actually hit it with the Heracles, you can then transition into hoplites, you can get to the heroic gauge, get your Odysseus out, and there seems to me to be like a difficult but possible way through that part. And then once you get to like Athena, Dionysus, or even an underworld onto a gold mine if you need to, you're okay, right? You're happy with that sort of a situation. But B has since shown me that you go Ares in this matchup, and that throws the whole entire plan out the window. Because Ares gives access to Paspist, gives access to Cyclops, which pretty much counter every myth unit to some degree. I could be wrong on that, maybe. I don't know. And then the Hippias become body blockers for the Cyclops in a fight, so you can't even get your heroes onto them. So it's actually a really, really difficult thing to fight.
Yeah, because you're used to, and I'm a Norse player mostly, and whenever I play against a Poseidon, a really good Poseidon player who goes Hippias Centaur, I know how hard you can get through those Hippias. But I've never seen anyone go like full Hippias and Cyclops. It worked out really well. And it just makes sense. If it works with Centaurs, why shouldn't it work with Cyclops as well?
Yeah. Well, 3DB says...
Did you see the relic on top here, by the way?
Which one? The Pandora's box. There it is. always
yes.
Busted. Always good. Always strong.
Who do you think should want this more than the other? I think Kimo, he saw it. He's the one who scouted it immediately. If he... Yeah, well, he did scout it. If he's being conscious of it, I think a good play for him would be to grab that and go into Centaur spam, potentially. Although he is against Atalanta, maybe forget I said that. What do you think?
I mean, you can try and match Hippias Centaur with good control. You can block the Atalanta off from killing the Centaur. It's very, very difficult. You have to also make sure you get Spirited Charge nice and early. I have not had any success with it, but yeah, I mean, it definitely on paper, it can work.
Oh, look at the relic that B gets.
Which one?
He actually gets the early Theseus, and what does he get for it?
Whoop. Archimedes' Ledger.
Archimedes' Ledger. Siege weapons at -1 population count. I think this has gotta be the most useless. There are a few that
there's two civs that like this relic, Norse and China. Because, you know, you want to get a lot of ballista, or you want to get a bolt onto the center. You want to get a lot of ballista, or a lot of the crossbow dudes. But
I cannot remember any game where it's gotten to the stage where Norse got to spam ballista. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, that Norse doesn't want to get there, but it just doesn't happen.
I've tried it. Believe me, I've tried it. I've tried my hardest. It's a tough one for sure. Is Cryoballista considered siege? I do not know.
Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay, well, there you go. Atlantean's
it is.
Not going to be upset about it. There you go.
Kronos gets the siege bonus as well. That works in Cairo Ballister.
Wow, and
So
Kimo.
yeah, Kronos, would that really make sense?
Yeah. Kimo's just saying, all right, time for a talent center. He doesn't care. That talent center is pretty average. I'm not gonna lie, but it's in classic Kimo fashion.
It's interesting to spawn here with 2 town centers right next to each other, and then gold mines on both left and right side. I don't think it's that bad. For a bamboo grove, for sure, it's suboptimal, but I get it why Kimo would want it. B is on the case though.
Yeah, this is something here that I've seen players like Divine, he plays a lot of Zeus on ladder do, and the idea here is he's just going to drop Restoration, and he shouldn't lose. Okay, never mind. He shouldn't lose a single villager
already,
and you just get the town center up and you're completely fine. But 3 villagers down, that's brutal. Centaur and a Hippias down, that's also kind of a nice trade. Not really. That's not a nice trade. Town center up though.
We talked about unorthodox plays here. This is B playing Poseidon. And did you notice how fast he got that second centaur? This is Kimo didn't expect that at all.
No, but there's a Minotaur in his main base as well. So villager differential here is only 1 at the moment. He might have got
2
kills. I might have missed it. 2? Maybe he didn't get any kills. Just some idle time there.
Well, 1 kill makes sense, and then it's 2 villager difference, right?
Yeah.
1.5, more like it. But yeah, Kimo's on 2 town centers. B is sitting on 1. His economy, by the way, looking like shit. Having those gold miners idle due to that Minotaur raid actually hurt B a lot here. It means that he would have maybe had the gold to get a second TC up really soon if he wanted to. But now he's sitting on 31 gold and still just at 1 town center.
And then on top of this, B drops a market. Is this and a stable? I don't know. I think it might just be for
hoping for a heroic push.
I think it might just be for market macro. I don't know why, but maybe he's just gonna go heroic age and then try and bronze push through this. I mean, gold mine wise, it's pretty bad for Kimo. Like, sure, there's a gold mine close to the second town center, but if B can just be there and move up to the top and just wall off that top gold mine, then all of a sudden things can get out of control here for Kimo pretty quickly. And Kimo's also farming on this forward town center, so a full all-in onto this position does make some sense.
Yeah, I do think what you said about walling off the top side is a necessity for B here, and he needs to do it probably about now, if that is indeed his game plan, it's controlling the gold. Because if that wall is not up, then Kimo's actually, he's got 2 gold mines available on the top side and the bottom side, and that's just not feasible, defending all of that without a wall. And even some stables on top of the gold mine, like you need some buildings there to secure that.
Yeah. And I guess on top of this as well, Kimo was doing a standard Kimo thing. He was just holding the Pandora's box for ages. Oh, a nice villager snipe.
Oh no. Yeah, 1 villager snipe, that's good, but we still see Kimo is sprinting ahead in economy, obviously due to having that second team. But
is he building?
He's doing some moves here. He's got his hippies in the bag now. See if he can find some value. There is a relatively low HP villager. Still no survival equipment for Kimo. Bit surprised not to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kimo is just a little bit suffering from losing a couple of villagers here. He still hasn't thrown up a building. Kind of looks like he's going for a heroic age here as well. Even though he hasn't thrown up anything. Does he have his economic upgrades? He's got both of his economic upgrades. Normally, what happens here is if you go 2 town center against anything with Greek, you grab your economic upgrades, you grab watchtowers, you grab crenellations, and then you start playing the game. But Kimo hasn't gone for those yet, and now he's actually getting punished.
He's losing villagers. And even though he's been 2 TCs for, what is it now, 2-3 minutes at least?
Yep.
He's only up by 4 vills. Because B has done a good job raiding here. And he's been raiding, he's also been forcing idle. Plus, like you mentioned earlier, the farms are being set up. That's also just putting yourself behind, not only due to the fact that farms cost wood, but also that you just don't get resources very quickly here. 0.7 compared to 1 from Hunt.
Yeah. And crenellations is on the way though. So this is gonna slow B's raids down a lot. He's not gonna be able to do anything with these units unless he sends in a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's a big shot down versus Poseidon when you get that that upgrade in.
And
We'll see. Some more villager kills though with the TC towers hitting. These probably should be thinking about calling it quits here and going for another.
He microed that so well. No losses. He's gonna be able to heal up on that with his Lord of the Horses. And yeah, Kimo is having some troubles here. I'm not gonna lie.
And even though he's ahead by 7 vills now, the fact that he's had so much idle time, he's set up the farms, he's lost villagers, he is down and just wait, everything's lagging for me. No, it's just in terms of economy, he is struggling, and oh my god, he just keeps getting in those ridiculously good rates. Look at this one.
Oh my god, and Kim, there's the restoration. Oh dear, that's not ideal. He had to use it, not ideal. He's back onto the woodline. Kimo, he doesn't leave. He just comes straight back.
There's a woodline there, and Kimo, he's getting it. He's getting there. This 3DB, it's just full-on cavalry aggression versus crenellation towers. It's kind of working out for him too.
I mean, Kimo's just taking so long to get units out. He's got resources in the bank.
He's not reacting either. He's not setting up walls. He's not setting up protection for himself. Like, imagine just a wall on the front, both left and right side. It would have done so much for him, but he's just not taking himself the time to do that.
But he's now slowly starting to get these hoplites out. B is still one town center, mind you, but the villagers' numbers are now about equal.
Once again, what a weird game here. The towers. Just not doing their thing, apparently. People are saying, don't show this game to Magic. He's going to want to buff the towers even more. Yo, look at the villager. 38 for B, 30 for Kimo.
Yeah, Kimo's... It's basically now, if you think about it like this, it's basically now Kimo is now only now just got a second town center. And he's behind by 9 villagers. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
And another part of this is when you get to deal damage like this, you prolong the time it takes. What am I going to say? Like, the gold mine is being slowly depleted while all of this is going on. And Kimo is spending gold on hoplites and all kinds of things. So it's getting closer and closer to the point where the second gold mine is going to come into play. And that's going to be really rough for Kimo if things continue as they are right now.
But to be completely honest, I've seen Kimo in worse positions and come back. So as long as he's got that town center up and he's continuing his game plan, he somehow manages to make these things work. And I touched on it kind of early on in that once you get to a certain point here with Athena, with Zeus against Poseidon, we could get Sarissa, you get Aegis Shield. It slowly starts to become Zeus favored, even if he's behind on economy by a little bit. So Kimo just has to sort of hang in here for a lot more time, but he got to hang in here for a little bit and try and get himself to that
Kimo's
point.
in that bad a situation.
No, it doesn't seem like it. He's also got his farm set up.
Yeah. I think B probably should. I think most Poseidon players at this stage would say, all right, I've dealt a lot of damage. I think now it's time that I go for bronze push on that second gold mine. Kind of hope for B that he's going to do something like that. Maybe take his footer off the pedal for a bit. Is that what you're saying? Foot off the pedal for a bit?
Foot off the pedal. He's in full range of motion at the moment. He will be able to catch. This is really dangerous for Kimo. He should still be trying to play defensive here.
Those hoplites are way out of position.
Yeah.
Even though they obviously have Sarissa, they have medium infantry, they have great. The mere fact that there's so few of them, plus his 2 centaurs here, they're gonna take a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking a decent trade, and then he's going to pull back, but no restoration. He's only got 1 villager on favor, so the second restoration is a long ways away.
Yep. And also, like I said, keep in mind every trade, if it's an equal trade or maybe even an unequal trade, kind of favors 3DP because it just gets closer to the stage where Kimo will have depleted that initial gold mine, and he then has to figure out where does he get gold from. Is it left side or is it down the bottom? Either way, whatever he decides, it's going to be, I think, quite easy for B to actually be able to punish him after that.
Yeah, and B's now he's got a pretty big critical mass of units, so. These towers, as good as they are, they're not going to be able to do a whole lot. You have to have units there as well to defend.
He has not walled off that top side. I think that's a mistake. Haven't even placed a stable. Like, just take one of your gold miners, place a stable up there. Yeah, minimal investment for maximum value. But the Pegasus hovering the wood line, and I don't know. He doesn't have vision of that gold mine down the bottom. I don't know. Is this a very AOM centric strategy, the gold strangle? I'm a bit surprised that B isn't playing a bit more into it right now.
Yeah, I mean that's the win condition, right? If you stop your opponent gathering gold, the game ends because you can't make any military units anymore. But
yeah.
Still, all the other RTS fundamentals apply. Like, if I just kill off a whole bunch of villagers, then I'm going to get myself further and further in front. So I guess that's what B's going for.
Yeah, but you get my point, though, right?
Yeah.
Easy to stop the top one, place the Pegasus down the bottom. Like, I'm so surprised because he's up 3DB in terms of being a good RTS player. He's miles ahead of both of us, but it's just in AOM, this is so weird that you don't make this play.
Okay, and the longer this goes on, now we're seeing Sarissa come through. That's going to make the hoplites a little bit more tanky versus the centaur. The longer this goes on, the closer really Kimo should be to sort of catching up here. But we are now seeing the raid onto the bottom gold mine now, Suppe.
Yeah, we are. And Kimo doesn't have anything ready for it. He's not established any walls or buildings, and he's not even seeing the raid going on. He's microing his hoplites and his heroes, trying to get a good trade over on the right side here. And meanwhile, B is just going to town, literally killing villagers. He's still up 3 villagers now after all this.
Yeah. He's losing even more villagers underneath. I think Kimo might just be AFK at this moment.
Oh. This is what B does here with these small groups of horses and centaurs. He sends them down the bottom, he sends them over to the wood line, and he's got the big one now killing farmers. There's just nowhere that Kimo can feel safe with his villagers. Kimo's on 25, 24 vills. 3DB takes it. What a game.
Yeah.
What a well-played game here from both of these players.
Yeah, that was just I don't know. I mean, the early raid on the town center, not clicking restoration to just get the town center up cleanly. And then the amount of time, I mean, if you take a look at the graph and the military resource value, the amount of time it took Kimo to build a unit here, it took him literally 10 minutes to build one unit outside of the Jason. And
yeah,
I think that's all it sort of took for B to just get momentum and be able to actually start getting these raids off. If Kimo just got himself, I mean, maybe the map had something to do with it, this town center being rubbish, has to go into farms early. Like, if he could have avoided doing that, maybe he can get the units out a bit quicker, and maybe this is a little bit easier to defend, but nonetheless, well played.
He did have that Pandora's box too.
Yeah.
I think, given that he scouted it early, he did manage to grab it. Wouldn't the play just have been to sit at home with centaurs and just use those, not for aggression, but simply just to fend off attacks? I think I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, get some defensive minotaurs. You got to be a little bit concerned about centaurs with that. I have tried.
No, I would actually suggest going Hermes.
And Hermes.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Always an interesting idea.
That said, those centaurs only double multiplier versus myth units now. Did get nerfed this patch, so who knows? Maybe minotaurs are a bit more viable.
Yeah. Well, one good thing here is that we get a game 5, and we're going to be able to see probably Kimo going to be moving into his Isis, and I imagine we're going to be seeing a Fushi from B on the map Arena, but we'll see if my prediction is right on that one or not as we get out of here and get into game 5. Alrighty, we are now into game number 5. This is for all the marbles. This is the second time B has been in this situation in this tournament. You lose this one, you go home. It's over. You can breathe a sigh of relief that it's you did your best, but you know that's all you got. And he is going to be playing Fushi for us at the top of the map in the blue color.
Everyone saw this coming, Boit. Both of these players had 2 gods remaining, and I think everyone saw it coming. It was going to be on Fushi, and down the bottom of the map, we got Kimo playing as Isis. These are 2 incredibly strong gods. Both are at least top 5 gods, depending on who you ask. You can put them up or down, but very, very strong gods on a super... Like this map, Arena, people will say it's a defensive map. Sure it is, but at the same time, you cannot just sit in your base for 10, 15 minutes without doing anything. Well, 15 minutes without doing anything. So, got 2 really strong gods here. Ice, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be explosive despite it being Arena. That's my feeling anyways.
Yeah, I mean, Kimo's game plan here is going to be, I mean, you know what he wants to do, whether he's going to be able to do it or not, is he wants to be able to do a 2-town center fast Mythic. That's what he wants. That's what he knows is obscenely strong for Isis. There's some other options as well. You've got some heroic age ideas. You've got some classical age ideas as well, which might catch B off guard. But the big question here is always, what is the mad world that B living in going to come up with? Because he can do anything.
Well, one mad thing already is the fact that he hasn't used his Peach Blossom Spring.
I think he did this in my game as well.
Busy.
I was very confused.
He's been so busy linking everything together that he forgot the easiest tool that he's got to link everything together. And I don't know, on this map, it's honestly, hopefully for him, he's going to remember doing it soon. It's not the worst because he's already got such a nice favor generation in already. So that's a blunder on his part. The big thing is that it doesn't accumulate resources when it's not being used. So
it's one of those god powers that I sort of wish had a benefit to being used like in classical age or in heroic age or in mythic age. Like, you know, Dwarven Gold Mine starts with more resources when you use it in classical age. So
yeah,
you obviously want to drop it in the archaic age, so you get yourself some extra favor income. But you know, that second one, 75 favor, do I really want that? Nah. But if it started with a little bit more resources, maybe I would.
Interesting. Yeah, you could definitely give some more decision to it other than just use it as soon as possible, start accumulating favors, start accumulating more resources. You can definitely add complexity and depth to it. I agree.
And so I don't think we're surprised at this stage. B is going through Chi Yao.
What is his favorite generation? Plus 12 per minute. And we see Peach Blossom Spring used. Nice.
He reminded himself. He saw it there. He's like, oh, I have this god power. Let me chuck that one down. Great. Oh.
May as well, but he did get himself that second Kuafu. We played a game earlier where you were being very, I hate to say it, I hate to put you on the spot here, but I think you were being really rude to me. You did not even build a second Kuafu.
No,
you just invested all your favor into Yatze.
I was chatting with Kino last night, and I was telling him I don't think Kuafu are worth it. And I was like, I'm gonna cook up a build with Shadong, and I'm gonna go 0 Kuafus, and I'm just gonna make all Yahtzees. Oh,
and you do it against me. Of all people, you do it against me.
The madman. All right, I'm gonna. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some ninja editing here. I'm gonna put some highlights. We'll just do a quick highlight reel for YouTube afterwards. Oh, sorry, not sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. At least it was just a practice game. If it was tournament game and you had done that, wow. Wow.
Just don't tell
Nah.
Kavath, okay?
What is going on in this game? Bit of a slow start here. We see Neja is in for B. He's definitely going slow, but now we do see Kimo committing to a town center outside space. He's got 10 villagers in the Pharaoh there, so that should open up things this game. Generally, I see some people opting for the village center inside of the base. Others people saying, no, I want to get my town outside.
Yeah,
I think when one player commits to the town state outside, that makes for more interesting games, if you ask me.
I think so. Me too. I mean, there was one thing you did actually the other day, which reminded me of how good of an idea it is. Is if you get like a town center is Egyptian, a village center is an Egyptian that just got 3 resources on it. Now this one doesn't, on this map doesn't have for ISIS, but you can drop that village center in, Pharaoh empowering that town center, and you get yourself a huge boost to your economy.
Yeah, you can do that over on the left side. Place it near the forest and the gold mine, and then you get early husbandry, and you place your cows next to it,
yeah.
and you can have 25 villagers there easily.
Yeah, and now Kimo, he knows what's coming his way. He knows that this is a one town center. I don't even know if he's scouted. Let me have a look. He has barely scouted. He's got an obelisk on one of the town centers. He doesn't know what B's doing to save his life, but he knows what B's doing because he's setting up a very, very nice defense on this town center already.
And what is B doing? He's got, like, what is the plan here when you're... This is so, like, we've talked about in this patch how important it oftentimes is to go 2 TCs. And especially if you see your opponent going for a 2 TC, you need to have something up your sleeve. But it seems like B is just perfectly calm, and he's perfectly fine with seeing Kimo grabbing that second TC because he's got something up his sleeve. What is it, Boit?
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to spam units out and then try and just contain. It's a long time he has to contain for. He probably can kill off the town center, but Kimo does not need to mind. This is something you can be okay with just giving away, especially as Egyptian. Because you get heroic age with boosted amount of villages. You're going to be like 10 villages in front by the time the town center falls. And you can get into your Migdol units and you can be in a really good spot. You can go mythic age, be in an even better spot. There's a lot of different ways to play it. But B here is going to be trying to do a little bit of damage. He's got those Yatsa. He can get into the main base. But if he does dive in like this, he's got to wait 20 seconds before he jumps again. So... it's a little bit risky, especially.
Yeah, the Pharaoh is there.
Yeah, especially against the Pharaoh.
Pharaoh's got ballistics in classical, right? Yeah, you can see it here.
So.
That thing doesn't miss.
It's got accuracy 80%, which does mean it can miss the first shot. But I think it's got track rating of 99. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it misses some shots, but the track rating is really, really sick. Yatse special used once again, and Kimo really good. He knows that these Yatse cannot get out now, and yeah, there's still probably some time remaining here. Good little damage dealt by B though, and I guess while this is happening, he's just massing up an army.
Yeah, and this is actually a significant amount of damage getting done here, but Nephthys is already in. The question is going to be, how does Kimo want to use this? Is he going to try and Ancestors Eclipse into the main base? Is he going to try and use it with his army to defend himself?
He's got no vision of the main base, and it's going to be really rough for him to ever get it. But if he could, I think he would. But that's one downside to Isis. Scorpion Man maybe can sneak over to the wall and do it.
Or
but
classic,
you don't have vision. You don't
this
have
is
rock,
this is a classic Kimo move right now. He just says, "I don't care what you're doing. I'm just going to walk forward. I'm going to drop a Migdol right here because I can." And
dude, Kimo's losing. While you're talking, Kimo's losing, like, I think he's lost 5 bills and he's almost lost 2 additional ones.
Those Yatsu are just brutalizing him.
Yep. And the Neja was brutalizing the Scorpion, and now Kimo forced to use his Pharaoh to heal that guy back up. Means the Migdal is going up slower.
There's
So
many
B
fire
is getting a
archers.
lot of damage still. Neja is back on the Migdal, and there's such a big army. The monkeys are slowing down B here. I think that's a mistake. 3.3 speed.
Oh, and I think the Migdal's going to get denied here as well. These fire archers, they do damage.
Ancestors Eclipses Forest. And only one Pioneer. They're quickly going to be targeted down by the Ancestors. Electric weapons. God. I don't think this is a good spot. The Pharaoh goes down. That's huge for 3DB. Still a lot of Ancestors remaining. 11 here. There's no heroes for B. So these Ancestors just taking down the entire army. And the electric weapons with it. So unfortunate for B there.
I mean, damage is done here, though. Like, Kimo's hurting. He's not in the lead in terms of economy, but he just killed all the military, so it doesn't matter. It's like we just reset. It's like we just reset, except now Kimo's in the heroic age and on 2 town centers.
Ah, Kimo's good here. That turned out so well for Kimo, and B really overestimated his position there. The fire archers are just not it. I think he's overcommitting on. Like, this is not the first game. The other Chinese game he had, I think he overcommitted on the fire archers too. He played the raids perfectly. He got the damage dealt in all kinds of places on the arena map. That's really sick. You get to do that versus Ice. But that fight was not it.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Are we actually seeing Nebty coming through? We've got more priests coming in. It kind of looks to me like Kimo is saying, hey, you're 1 town center. I'm just going to hang out in the heroic age.
Yeah, why not? You don't have to rush to the Mythic Age because that leaves you susceptible to any form of aggression.
Yeah.
Imagine if B gets a nice army going, he can use Drought on that formation. Like, just saying, I've got the better economy, I've got the better economic scaling, I scale better into the late game, well, at least early late game with the Valley of the Kings or Son of Osiris, whatever it is. There's no reason for Kimo to risk anything here, so he's doing the safe choice now, which is to just sit back for a bit.
Yeah, and now he's out. Yeah, he's got everything he needs, and I don't know what B's best move is here. But it seems like he's just going to try and spam stuff out. But if he does that, these fire archers, like you've already said, they don't really have a target. So what do you do? You have to build javeliniers, you have to build halberdiers, and there's the prosperity as well. And I think Kimo is going to get a lot of gold here. And if he really wants to be obnoxious at the moment, after this prosperity is done, he can just drop down 2 Migdals on this position, and it's going to be impenetrable.
He can maybe even just move step by step. One forward, the other one a little bit more forward.
Yeah.
And try to gain ground that way. Yeah, I think Kimo's looking super strong here. And the fire archers this last patch, the Wutsu Javelineers got a significant buff. I think what it was, like plus 15% in terms of raw damage that they actually deal.
Yeah, they got a quality of life boost, which meant that you could animation cancel them exactly the same way as a Peltast. So it's the same like timing. But they also got a slight damage boost. So yeah, they're really, really good in this patch.
I think okay, right. The quality of life boost, but on top of that, it is also what amounted to, I think it was 15% is what I read, of actual raw damage increase. Like you meant, okay, Kimo's doing what you said, but B is not the case. This is kind of reminiscent of what happened before.
Yep.
Oh my god,
Kimo
B
going
is trouble here. The Pharaoh is moving forward. Maybe if that Pharaoh can be targeted down, that would be really sick for B. Dealing a lot of damage to the chariot archers on the right side. Well, now see if B has learned his lesson. He needs to back off.
Yeah, I mean, this Neja is going to go down in like 2 shots from the chariot archers. All these units are going to fall to these double Migdal. I mean, if you look at the difference in military pop, just add about 15 to 20 pop for these Migdals, and that's what Kimo's got there to sort of bolster his position.
Yep.
So you can't sit under here unless you've got some serious siege.
It is crazy though. Kimo with the 2 TC boom, B on the 1 TC, and you look at the villagers, it's equal numbers.
Oh yeah.
So
and
B has...
on top of that, Soup, There's like one. There's 2 Quaofu.
Oh yeah.
This goes to show
So
how
he
much
could've had
damage
even
he's
more.
gotten. Yeah.
Yeah. Big fight occurring here. Oh my god, sorry. So many fire archers. 15 Javelineers now. Once the real years, but there's very few halberdiers remaining. I don't know if Kimo's done a tremendous job just targeting them down. He has just not got enough of them out, but you do see the camels just going to town here. 2 halberdiers is all that he's got.
Yeah, and Scorpion Men rolling in, doing everything. And that actually might go down in one shot to the Yatsa, but he's still going to get a nice amount of damage.
They can deal with him. Yo, Nedja was there too.
No, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, Kimo just wins these fights. It is reminiscent of the Marsh game because it's seeming like B is kind of keeping up in terms of economy. He deals a lot of damage with his rage and so on. But in the big fights, it's just B spending more resources than Kimo in order to get an equal footing.
Now we actually do see something interesting here from B again. He is dead set on new bar in this one. He wants to go new bar. He wants to then break through.
I think this technology with Nuba in a game like this where he's investing so much into archers, getting that Scorching Feathers upgrade for plus 5% attack speed and piercing arrows, I think it's a very good one.
We'll see, because, I mean, the longer this situation that B is in goes on for, the further in front Kimo gets. Now, does Isis win this late game against Fushi? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, there's going to be a Thoth that'll come through, so you're going to have Thoth elephants, boosting your economy. If Kimo chops really, really hard into this bottom side, he can drop a market, get the top talents in it, get a huge trade route cooking.
Oh yeah, I do think. I mean, it doesn't really in Retold. It doesn't really come down to. Let's see, this is probably going to be a big fight here. Maybe not. I don't think it comes down to like super late game fights ever. Really, it's all about the Mythic power spike that you get to. How much does the meteor into Valley of the King's Flood do compared to the early John Wick and the early Great Flood and so on from the Chinese?
No, I think
there's the Tauche now. The Tauche versus Elephant.
That's true. That's very, very true. We were, though, in a bit of a dangerous position now for 3DB. If he loses this next fight, this gold mine is going to go down, and this game is going to be donezo.
Yeah.
So he has to win this fight right now, and it's Kimo's just got more stuff than him.
Yeah, and it's these Chariot Archers, when well microed, he just pulls them back, and that forces the Javelineers to go right into the center of camels.
Yeah,
I mean, once again, we do see B now with the right unit composition, the one that he should have had from the start. I wish he had it from the start instead of the Fire Arch. But it does seem like Kimo's just getting the better of these traits. The Camel's Chariot Arch is looking mighty strong here. Another issue with Nuba is the fact that when you find yourself in a situation like B is in here, you never get any value from it. This is a god power that you can only use when you're on the offensive. And not only that, when you're on the offensive with a higher military presence. So in that regard, it's a really, what's it called? You can only use it in certain instances. It's not something that will always grant you value, like say.
Yeah, I think B here is slowly bleeding. I mean, you still look at the villager differential; it's still equal. But now Kimo's moving on to the left-hand corner. He's dropping Migdol's there. He's on the right-hand corner. He's putting walls everywhere. He's about to lock the map up and shut B out of this game completely.
B is getting the Yahtzee rates done still.
He's still getting some value.
Two Yahtzees. They've gone from the left side into B's base, over to the right side, and over that other right wall to the right. And he's killed so many units in villagers in the process. But of course, that's good. But if you don't win the main fight, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but B is doing a sneaky here, and I don't think that Kimo saw it. Like,
no,
I don't think he saw it. So B's going into the
because
corner.
Mikkel isn't established yet.
All he needs is a gold mine. All you need is a
right.
gold mine. You can rebuild your army. Kimo's got to break through the main base, get everything killed off here and be like, where is he getting gold? At some point he might figure it out, but generally it takes quite a while. And in these games, like you always, I know you remember this, like there was always this like hate in Legacy, you know, Hades. And what he did was always like, if he sneaks a gold mine, he wins the game. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but it's definitely the way back into a position like this.
Yeah, for sure. But, you know, all the nice moves that B is making, getting all the kills with the Yahtzee, nice and gold move here, it doesn't change the fact that he just cannot get enough of a mass of units that actually can touch this Camel Chariot Archer unit composition. He just seems so strong here.
Yeah, and he's also now getting himself the Peach Blossom Spring as well.
We get to see it.
And Thoth is...
Yeah, he's getting it.
Thoth is here. Thoth is here. Third Townsend is probably going to come through for Kimo soon. And there it is.
Trying now, but
and he spots the gold mine on the back here now as well.
What time are you on, Boit?
I'm at 20 minutes and 34 seconds.
Okay, we're the same. Okay. Yeah, Kimo knows about this bow lane now, so he's going to make a move there. Maybe. Or he's just going to wait for a meteor. That could be a possibility too.
I mean, he doesn't really want to go underneath the ballet at the moment. Like, it's too much of a presence. If you get some siege, obviously you can break through it, but the simple solution here is just to wait for meteor and then go.
Yeah. And like, Kimo is so far ahead. He's got himself a gold mine over on the right side. He's got himself the gold mine in the middle here. So it's not even like the pressure is on Kimo to make anything happen. Kimo is fine with nothing happening.
Yeah.
Even though he obviously has all the pressure that he's got the military presence, but on top of that, he's got the superior economy. He is going Thoth, so it's just all the cards are in Kimo's hand right now.
And I guess at this point it's a waiting game, but I mean, is there anything else that 3DB can do right now to weather the storm?
Can't think of anything. Can't think of anything.
All these villages here are going to go down as well. The army here is just going to get meteored. And it hits the ballet as well as the army. That's brutal. All the villages pop out.
Maybe?
Yeah, they're going to try and bail, but I don't see them getting too far out of here.
Phoenix incoming. Drought, this is it. This is the comeback.
This is what we need. He taps out. You always got to make sure you use all your god powers before you tap out.
Yeah.
That was a close series, Soup, you know.
What a performance from B here,
Yeah,
Boit. This guy is obviously AoE4 player first and foremost, but big credit. So many good series, so many cool strategies plays from this guy. We love seeing him in AOM, don't we?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he brings a completely different flavor to the game, you know, like it's just cool to see people trying this stuff in tournament, you know, like it works. I mean, it's offbeat and it's strong, you know. So it's a pleasure to watch his games, and I hope he sticks around and keeps playing because he's a fun guy to watch. But congratulations to Duke Kimo. Defender's dream. This guy is he knows how to play this game in this style, and he does a great job of it.
Once again, Kimo with the clutch victory here. So he can do the Cinderella run from all the way down the bottom of the loser bracket, and he's still in it now. He's advancing to the top 6 of players or so, I think.
Something like that.
He's making a good run for it for sure.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I guess we're going to get prepped for our next series here, Soup, and it's featuring you. So I bid you adios and thank you for hanging out with me, and best of luck. I know you were going to pull some big brain strats out and make everyone go, wow.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Thanks for casting with me, Boit. I'll see you.
All right. See ya.